Hello, my name is Madison Tapp. I know that I'm outside right now and there's a little bit of wind, so I'm not going to be conducting my experiment outside. I'm going to be conducting it inside, but I'm actually in the middle of a move right now, so I'm at my parents' house. We stopped here. I'm in the middle of moving to Georgia from California, so it's going to be a while until I get to my house and everything. But this is for my Physics 133 lab project, and it is the uniform circular motion project with the aluminum tubes and everything. So I'll go ahead and show you my tools that I have here. So actually I'll just go ahead and bring it up. So the list, of course, I have the stopwatch, which is right here from the lab kit, and then we have the fishing line, which I have, and the washers, which I have already attached the washers and the aluminum tube right here. So what I did was I threaded the aluminum tube I threaded the fishing line through the aluminum tube, and I went ahead and put the one washer at the end and then the 4 washers at the opposite end for the weight. And here are the measurements right here. So here's the first one. There are 3 different measurements that we're going to be using throughout this experiment. The first measurement is 1/4 of a meter, or 0.25 meters, and then the second measurement is 0.15 of a meter, and then there's 0.4. So throughout this experiment I'm going to be trying each of these measurements, but you can see 0.25 is this one right here, so there's the mark, and so I make sure that that's right here at the top of the aluminum foil, or at the aluminum pole right here, and then I just hold the rest with my hand. And the basis of the experiment is to look at the radius and be able to, and the time, to be able to get the average velocity going in circular motion. So what we're going to be doing throughout this experiment is you hold the aluminum tube out in front of you, and then you basically just start to swirl the tube. So I would go ahead and grab my stopwatch, and then once I feel ready, which once again, since it's windy out here, I don't want to actually conduct my experiment in here. I'm just doing this for the video, but I'll go ahead and start spinning it. So 15 rotations, so I would start spinning. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And so I stopped right after the 15th one, and it looks like that ended up being 6.75 seconds. And so I'm going to be repeating that and doing that for the other measurements as well, for 0.15 and 0.4, and then I'm going to be determining the average speed that it's actually going in. Our lab talked a little bit about, swing sets, kind of going around in that circular motion, and kind of just taking that into consideration. But, and it also talks a little bit about, calculating the average velocity. So whenever we're using these measurements here, the equation that we're going to be using is 2 times pi times the radius over the time period that it actually takes for the rotations. And so that's what we're going to be using to get our average velocity, which in this case would be meters per second, because that's what we're measuring in, unless the lab asked for a different measurement. But I'm pretty sure we're going to be leaving it in meters. And then we might even go a little bit further to look into the acceleration, the centripetal acceleration. And I think that's about it for this experiment once I go through all my trials and record my data and do all my calculations. And yeah, thank you very much. Have a great rest of your day.